The Way the String Goes, a story written by E.S. Morelli and read with 11 Labs AI tool.
Chapter 2. A Hungry Mind and a Book Castle. Looking back, I think I had a normal childhood. I was one of those annoying kids who never got over their questioning everything phase. I think that's why my parents taught me how to read as soon as they could, so they could shut me up with a book, though that was only a temporary solution because I started to read faster than they could find money for more books. I don't blame them for the way I was raised, though. They did what they could. I wasn't an only child. We were 2, soon to be 3. I love my brother, but things were much easier when it was just Lottie and me. Responsibilities and money-wise, mother and father were away constantly, so Lottie had to take care of me when I was still too young to walk. But once I learned that there was no stopping me on being independent around the house and causing the least amount of trouble a toddler ever did, I remember for a long period of time thinking Lottie was my mother, even though she was just 5 years older than me. I thought it made sense. She was always around, and we then shared the same dark brown hair color and honey green eyes. It had never occurred to me how much it hurt my mother when I would hide from her and refuse to let her get close to me for that same reason. When and if this fight is over, I'm going to write these thoughts on a diary. See how much of my life I need to revisit to gain a bit of perspective. Maybe it's not too late to right some wrongs. And to think I was so excited this morning because of my chat with Evan. The bleating of a goat snapped me from my thoughts. There's a goat where Sirdan was. There's a goat pitifully trying to pick up a cigar with its mouth. I don't know who did that or how that happened, but that's definitely that black-haired embodiment of an alley cat. I don't know how to help him, I mutter to myself as the thoughts start creeping up again. Still here nailed to the floor, I start thinking about the first time my father took me to the library, and I thought, this is the first day of the rest of my life. I was 14 then, when I was introduced to who will eventually become my mentor, Keith Facilier. I heard from my mother that he was a retired archaeologist turned librarian and immediately got excited to meet this man.
Just think of the stories he'd have to share, Mama, and the mysteries he uncovered, or the ones he forgot, and maybe I could help him solve.
I remember saying a bit too loud with excitement as she told me where my father was taking me.
Please, Eve, just keep to the books he allows you to read and let the poor man be, yes?
Dana, my mother was always this soft-spoken woman that could persuade people easily with a word and a smile. Plus, her unnatural looks gave her a bit of advantage. I just nodded in response. My father and she shared the same platinum blonde hair and eyes that seemed yellow, though the shades were a bit different. I heard people gossiping about them being related, and the other kids trying to bully my siblings and me about that, and us being adopted, so I studied about that and learned to find things in them that proved them wrong. Birthmarks, bone structure, moles, and of course our genealogy. I was especially thorough with that one since it turned out both of their ancestors came from an island southeast from Bakir known as Revonner, though not even then were their families mixed, now that I think of it. I could have learned sooner about my assigned destiny if only I had asked the right questions. Of course, I kept the information to myself. I had nothing to prove to the simple-minded kids in Emerald. Some of them wouldn't even be useful as fishermen. Clearly I was a lonely child, though I didn't care. I always kept my mind busy, running faster than the intrusive thoughts that chased me. Even now, as I finally start to take steps closer to the room that just oozes dread and death, I'm keeping my mind busy with anything else. Happier memories, look for happier memories. I hear the back of my mind scream, pushing forth the memory of the smell of dusty books, old books, First edition books. It had been a dream of mine to read the first edition of a book, any book, find its mistakes and the original intent of the author. Learning new languages so I could read more books around the library. Also, the now tainted happy memory that was the day Mr. Facilia asked me if I would like to be his apprentice. That my parents wouldn't need to pay for a thing and I could live at the library. They didn't say it out loud, but it was as if I could hear it. They were relieved that my soon-to-be teacher offered that. My brother Odie was born a few months back, and they were struggling with money. Just at that moment, an intrusive thought sneaked up on me. "They are getting rid of you," it said. And that was the last time I saw my parents for a while.